Sweet, and welcome to your spiritual gifts assessment and training video. So please excuse my voice. I just took a nap before I did the session to load up because you clearly know no one works as hard as God's soldiers. So with that being said, the frequency that I was led to for your session, and it's different for every session, by the way, based upon the magnetics of us. So each person has a magnetic field around them, right? That is sort of the push and pull energy that is attracting things towards us, but also like the energy that we are sending out as well. Because of that, the things that we are attracted to and the signs that we get, they are all extremely custom because they are custom. So with that being said, the selenite let me know that you have lunar gifts. I know in your meeting, we discussed the fact that you had the gift of unconscious destruction, would be the way I would say it. So if anything comes close enough to your family or your life to harm you, it is like there is a subconscious trigger at a time. So what this comes through as, there might be somebody that just enters your friend circle or whatever. You don't know why you don't like them, but you feel it and you trust it. That's because your internal radar can already sense their intentions and how they conflict with what you were trying to create or what you have going on with whatever group you're in. So it's kind of like a, I was going to say ring, like the camera system, like a monitoring system is the way I'm getting it. Because it's coming through in the form of a guardian or an bigger fragment that you belong to. And I'm like starting to do like this now because I'm pulling, like I'm getting a radio answer to this. So you have an ancestral guardian that watches over your family. And that's where this gift comes from. And it could very much be Kali. I'm getting that's Kaali. Or depending on where you hear that, Kali. This light is crazy, right? But the selenite is a lunar cleansing energy. It connected to the subconscious that I was picking off of you. Because it works at nighttime. It's activated in dreams. It's activated without you knowing. It's like the automatic ring system. As soon as somebody walks by, you are being recorded. It's like the energy that I'm getting from your most prominent gift. So I'm going to call this one the gift of surveillance. Because with or without physical sight, you're going to see. You're going to know. So let's get into a little bit more of this gift thing. And then I can explain how your system, your magnet that I was just explaining, will best react or strengthen in the future, and little exercises that you can do for that to log into your regular life so that you can become more aware of how your signs come through and take that unconscious gift of just knowing when something is off to the point where you can say, oh, I don't like homegirl, but it's because in the future she's going to do A, B, C, and D. I can already see where she's moving next, instead of you just saying something about it. But it's like you will strengthen the line between you and that ancestor or that energy that is protecting you so that you can hear it right away. You might even know stuff or secrets about people that they don't want to know or want other people to know. Like, ooh, I don't mess with her because the last friend she had. And people will be like, how do you know this? Gift of surveillance, baby. So, let me get to pulling. What other gifts does Ree have to attune at this time? What other gifts are available or awakening? I'm going to pull this from 2 decks. Now, the first one I went with, right, is this Prism Oracle because it has a variety of colors and sensations, and off of these cards I can just use my spidey senses. Like, even though it says a word, like one of your big ones was ideation, This is the ability to cycle through several different ideas and pick the one that's actually going to work out for yourself. Your daydreams are like your options that you are allowed to shuffle through. See, I just did that, right? But would you have got that from just the card that said ideation? And I'm going to show you how to do that with the other ones. But that's how your gift of that surveillance that I was just talking about works for you. You get more data off of small things than other people would. And it's just fed to you and you don't know why you know it. As of right now, you like, I'll just be knowing, I don't even know. My goal with your video and what I'm getting should be the goal is that in the future you get to know and understand, and it's going to strengthen your trust with yourself going forward. So the next deck that I'm going to use is the Dark Goddess deck. Because you have gifts that were originally unconscious or like in the back of your mind that look wild, but like, that's because they don't understand, okay? They used to call people crazy because they were beyond them, okay? Outside the spiral. So, and speaking of, the spiral is like the symbol for finding your way back to yourself. It's supposed to be an up spiral, like back to God. So this Dark Goddess deck is connecting to your unconscious gifts, the ones that have been hidden or wouldn't kind of be demonized by other people because they are unconscious and they're not things that other people have. So this deck is for the ones that would have got burnt by the patriarchy. So what information about her gifts does Ree need from this deck? What information does she need about her gifts from this deck? Have you ever had anybody tell you they had nightmares about you? Baby girl, what is you doing? I love this because never have I ran into the same exact gift twice. Like there are similarities. Like, oh, some people can know stuff without knowing, but then some people can only have that gift towards their day-to-day job. Like they can only use their spidey senses at work. This would be somebody who had like a lot of Virgo or Sixth Sense energy. Like, yeah, I'm just really on top of the things that I need to do at work before I get to get them done, right? That's because you can pick and choose where you want your power to play out. You wanted yours to play out in dream world. The dream world, also known as the astral, in my opinion, and based on everything I've been reading and what we all should know, right, is more real than here. Why is that? Because when we die, we go to the other side. You are only in this body that you are in now for how many years? 100 max. You know, every now and then you get to make it over. But for the most part, that's the most you're going to get, right? Before that 100 years and after that 100 years, the place you were is the astral. That's the forever beyond. That's where your soul goes. That lifetime or that life space is the long game. This is a chapter in you reaching your soul's evolution. This is just one lifetime, right? So you decided you would rather be able to make plays up there that found their way down here. Like you wanted to be able to affect people's souls or what was happening in that realm in order to fix your problems here. So when I asked, did you ever give anybody nightmares? Or has anybody ever seen you in their dreams and said that? It's because, right under that ideation, like your ability to sort of, if you haven't seen Doctor Strange, you're going to miss this reference and you need to watch it. But you can Doctor Strange your way through many possibilities. You can see if somebody comes to you and presents A, B, C, D, you're going to be like B. And you'll just be like, it's B. That's because you just saw all the possibilities in your mind in a real quick sync. Even if you didn't like actually sit there and go through like, you're a good decision maker because of the fact that you're streaming info from outside of you, right? The next card under that was fear. And what got me up in here, and your goddess ones, right? This was the one I looked at first and I was like, hold on, because she's scared the fuck out of people in their dreams. Your goddess cards, there's concealment and then there's wrath. So imagine somebody attacks you, upsets you or whatever, and you don't have to necessarily see them again. They still gonna see you. And they might not ever tell you they remember you. But they remember you. Because your anger, especially the anger that you don't release or actively handle, so to speak, it plays out in dream world. This is the same sort of thing as you taking your soul. Like when you leave your body, your soul floats out, right? The same way as when you die, except for the difference is with sleep, you come back. The death, not so much. So you go to sleep, step out, your little soul self steps out, and it goes and handles business for whoever made you mad, right? If you decide in the astral, this person's going to have a car accident, A, B, C, and D will occur. You'll like go walk up to their car, like poke a tire or something, whatever the case may be. And then a couple days later, the event that happened in your dream, that happened in the astral that you planted, unless for some reason your soul decides to cancel it, that's going to ground itself into reality. That's a powerful one. But the thing about that is you also have to be careful about that wrath and you not sharing your feelings. So if you love somebody and you mad and you stewing on it, let them know how you feel. Do not let that anger build, because you can't control what wrath is going to do subconsciously. Your soul above there does not act like your human here. Your human has an ego to contain it. If you miss somebody and they don't show you the same attention down here, you can say, you know what, I'm not talking to you, right? Get on my nerves. You're playing with me. Your soul don't care about that. Your soul is going to walk up to that person like, why are you making me feel like this? The soul is bold. The soul wants what they want. They're not going to cloak themselves like we cloak themselves. It seeks to figure things out. Your temper is something that you have to cultivate into power. When you are mad, there is a structure that you need to carry yourself through. I'm getting like you're going to be doing consistent shadow work as a way to cultivate your anger into a superpower that knocks out blocks within you, as opposed to attacks the person who triggered the wound that was already there, is what I'm getting. So how that will work is, the next time that you feel yourself get angry, I want you to go into isolation, because the first gift you had is isolation. And you know what that one means? You don't need nobody but yourself. If you were to have to be alone, you would actually get stronger. You know, some people would get weaker, like, I'm so lonely, I need friends, right? You know, social animals, blah, blah, blah. Some people need other people in order for them to feel themselves. That's not you, though. Not at all. You get stronger. You build when you're alone. That isolation doesn't bother you, right? So you spent a lot of time by yourself when it was at a time that you did not want to be by yourself. And having to sit with that and sit with yourself, you actually flip that, is what I'm getting. So when these feelings come up, anger, fear, rage, right? You come back to this isolation one, because resetting is your strength. No matter what that big ray of emotions that comes through you, your emotions are the byproduct of your ego, not your soul. They are the result of your experience. So if somebody cheats on you, right? You're mad. You're in that rage energy. You would go sit by yourself for a second. And you quickly define why you were upset with yourself. Why am I mad at this person? Right? They cheated on me. They broke my trust. Let the feelings rumble out. Let yourself say them, right? And then I want you to take yourself back. When was the first time I remember feeling this feeling? And you're going to breathe through this. This is another point of that isolation, right? You can make your ego about that big so that you can let your soul speak, is what I'm hearing. So you would sit and just focus on deep breaths after you let yourself rant. Because if you don't let yourself rant, yourself going to keep talking as you're trying to do this meditation and get to the real root of the issue. Things that trigger you now in your adulthood are only ripples of things that already occurred in the first 12 years of your life. And if you can find your way down that route, you can undo the power that has been bound in that moment. You are only triggered to free yourself from other pains. So after you sat for a few minutes, right, you're still mad, but you can sense, hold on. The first time I ever felt this feeling, I was betrayed. Like, my mom said we were going to do something, but suddenly she got this new boyfriend and then she cast me to the side. So now you have identified that feeling as betrayal. This is now bigger than the fact that this person just cheated on you. Yeah, they're in the wrong, right? But you can't change the fact that that person didn't recognize what they had in you. All you can do is find a way to take your power back. And in this moment, you realized, oh, Betrayal has been in my energy this whole time. He only brought this back up to me, and I've been carrying this abandonment wound for so long that I dealt with this person very possibly that I knew wasn't for me. And I don't know if that's an extra message, but you will have known that this person was not for you ahead of time. But you kept them around because of that abandonment wound, because of that initial betrayal. And then bringing it back up allowed you to recognize how you were betraying yourself in this relationship. Like, that's the sort of depth you will find as you are digging through yourself in order to undo. It's like a lot of rage and a lot of injustice happened to you in life, period, and that became a monster of its own. You were learning how to train your own dragon, and you do that through meditation and breath work and allowing yourself to feel what you need to feel. When that rage comes through, if you need to cry, if you need to sing, if you need to dance, if you need to cuss, you have to release those feelings. For so many times when your little child self did not get to do that, it's like you would be slapped down if you try to rise up in your power. And that is the part of you that fights in dream world. The part of you that as a child could not fight for yourself, that needed a bigger spirit or ancestral thing to protect you. It's like the parents that you had. I don't know if there's something interesting about your childhood situation, but it's like there were people around you who weren't in your best interest. And maybe that first thing, and it's usually like that when I'm talking the whole time, is hitting on something for you. But like maybe your parents ain't have the best friends or the best people around you, and that really messed you up, like not feeling safe or being able to trust the people that were invited into your life. And that's going to be something important for you going forward, right? So, Master of Disguise, Mistress of Disguise comes up. This says trickery, but this is more than that, right? Because it's next to temptation. This is femme fatale energy. I'm sensing. Everybody sees what they want to see of you, but only you allow them to see who you really are when you want to. Right? That's backed up by this mystery. That goes together. Dude, you must have some heavy Scorpio energy. And I know we have your session today, so I'll definitely be digging into that. But this temptation, trickery, mystery, magic, right? That was the last one under your gifts that you had going on. You have a lot of gifts that were hard-earned. Your sexiness is hard-earned. Your sexual magnetism, your aura, it's resonating with me like a little snake thing that looks like it's this big, right? But then if you attack it or you get closer, you realize it's a whole like, that's your thing. And only a strong partner can take the whole snake. I know that sounds like, right? But you have learned to show different degrees of yourself as a person with so much intensity, like so much intelligence, like your energy is thick and heavy, right? You are a chameleon, but it's like a survival chameleon. But I guess maybe that's why they change their skin too, huh? Like we look at chameleons like, oh, they change their colors and they bounce around, like that's cool. They change to fit their environment, but technically that's a survival thing, right? This is that 1 week having tea with the queen to the next week in the club energy, right? You are fluid. That's another thing that makes me feel like this is Scorpio energy. Like your magic is you are a energetic shapeshifter who shifts based upon how you need to protect your energy. A lot of your stuff is defense. Even your prophecy is defense. The gift that you're meant to build with is this one. Knowing the many different situations or learning instinctively to sort through many different outcomes at one time to say, nah, this is the one I'm going to go with. This mystery, this cloak one, you use after you make a decision. This one you use if anything goes left. This set over here is if anything goes left, right? But as you continue to do that shadow work, that need to do this isolation thing becomes less, right? Because you're starting to understand yourself more, and that's what I'm getting here. The key to your gifts is understanding why you do what you do. Even when you implode, even when you have a hard time, what feeling is this reminding me of that I already had before? What am I still trying to solve within me? And as you continue to cleanse that gift out, in the future, say if there was another situation where somebody cheated on you, you'd be able to pause in that moment instead of having to go off and do the talking yourself through everything. You'd be like, this has nothing to do with me and everything to do with you. You made a mistake. There is nothing in me that was a reflection of your betrayal. If anything, you were afraid of having a good thing, so you sabotaged. But you will be able to no longer take on other people's burdens or feelings or mistakes as your own, because you'll know without a doubt that you have cleansed those patterns that were making bad stuff happen to you over and over again. It's like you were clearing a family bloodline curse, but through learning to be the one who knew how to clear them. So now, with your children, you're going to be able to help them with any anger issues they have, any blockages that come up for them. Not only because you know how to guard them, or you know that you are guarding them in the astral, because I feel like it'll get to the point where if you have an issue, you can say, okay, bet. My intention tonight before I go to sleep is go visit such and such. You'll be able to control where you're going in the dream realm, right? But instead of instilling, oh my goodness, fear, you'd be able to know to go to talk to somebody. Like, hey, it might be a threat. It's still instilling fear, but it's not the same thing as you attacking somebody in a chaotic way that makes something horrible happen in their real life. That would be a uncontrolled version of your power. Your power in the future is like mafia mommy. It's sort of what I'm feeling. So imagine, you know, somebody bullying your kid, right? You can't say nothing in person, but you know your dream self. Your dream self will roll up on a kid like, hey, I heard you messing with my baby. And then next thing you know, your kid comes home one day like, hey, Sonny's my friend now. I don't know when he got so nice. And you'll be like, because you have learned how to work your power in the astral, right? And you'll get synchronicities in the 3D. You will always see a reflection of what you have done in your real life. And you'll start to get a feeling. You'll start to know when it's for you. Like, you'll just get a little tingle like, okay, I see you winking back at me. But the main thing about all of this, even this cloak I'm getting, that cloak is going to become fortified. As you do this shadow work and you learn yourself more, it's like if Batman ever got to the bottom of why, or his parental stuff. Like if Batman had went to counseling and found out or figured out like why he was killing people. Well, I say killing people like he wanted to be a superhero, but like some of that stuff was like, you are going to find your why. And when you find your why, you will be cleansing all that negativity and all stuff and turning it into strength. So as your childhood memories return, and I feel like this is attached to that, right? When you have to sit through these moments where you have to hold yourself at the times where you are not held, that is going to fuel your purpose. And it could be very well to help other kids, but it's justice. It's going to be about taking other people's power back. So maybe even this energy here is very lawyer-like. You might take all of this stuff and go another route in life. You could be a political activist, right? There are no limits to what you can do when you're being led by what is the best opportunity for me? Where can I use my power? How can I best continue forward in my purpose knowing that this is my power? So say you have all of this and you decide you want to do some sort of counseling or something that allows you to work for the state or anything. Imagine how much good you can do for children that you were helping. Like if you happen to be a social worker. Going forth, any career path or thing that you try to create, and I know you're working on writing, keep these gifts in mind. Because if you're a writer and you have to go to like book conventions or you have to talk about your book, you're going to need this shell that you have, right? But you are going to, and I don't want to say mask, not at all. You are going to create a fortified outside version of yourself that is impenetrable. That's what this trickery becomes. There is a version of you and your power that you want to wear on your sleeve after so many, I heard lifetimes, of you hiding it. So your look might change. It might become a bit bolder. But it's like the power that you were holding inside, that shape-shifting energy that you were just doing with people so they can never really see the difference, but they can like sort of feel. It's going to be visible on you. You're not going to hide your power anymore from yourself or other people once you become aware of the strength that you have. And it seems like very like clearly to me, the main thing you have to do to hone in on all your stuff is shadow work. When you feel something deeply or heavily, take a second to sit with it, count, breathe. Where is this coming from? Learn yourself. And that's the message I kept getting today. Learn yourself the same way you would learn somebody that you just started dating. Like, ooh, what are they into? Oh my gosh. Why do you like that fragrance? Like, oh my gosh. Like, you know, you ask questions about everything when you're trying to get somebody. Like, oh, what was your childhood like? You got to talk yourself through yourself when you have been living a lifetime that sometimes requires you to run from yourself, is what I'm getting. This is a homecoming of you to you and taking back the power you already had that was hidden so that you could appreciate it once you found it. So, enjoy training yourself on this dream thing. Start off with little things. Write something down on your bed like, I want to resolve the relationship I have with such and such, right? It might take a couple nights, I'm getting. But once you feel that ideation gift again, once you feel like it's time to take that piece of paper out, like that mission is done, go ahead and release it. You can flush it, you can burn it, trash it, and then watch how everything around you works to confirm it. You might get a call from the person. You might get another sign that like, all right, it's working out. Just know that you have the power to move things in a way that frees you from the stuff that has been binding you. Have a good day.